Good evening and welcome to yet another session, AMA session. Okay, so these sessions happen every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, I talk on a topic. After that, it's open to questions. You can ask your questions and I'll try to answer those. So today we are there with another topic. Okay, so it is basically about ghee and its properties and its uses. Okay, so let's start today's session. Okay, so as I said, these Ask Me Anything weekly sessions every Tuesday 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So today we are going to talk about the properties of ghee and its uses. So all of us know that ghee is something which, especially in this part of the world, in India, we use it left, right, center, both as food and also as medicine, even for religious purposes like lighting a lamp, or even for the homa, havan, whatever you call that, we pour ghee, and ghee is considered to be extremely auspicious. And of all those things, the best ghee is cow's ghee. So in Ayurveda, whenever you see ghrita, if they have not specifically mentioned what ghee it is, you have to understand that it is always cow's ghee. Okay, so when you say milk, it's always cow's milk. Likewise, if you see ghee, it is always cow's ghee. Okay, so we shall get into the properties of cow's ghee. Let's see. Okay, so the properties. Taste of it is rasam is madhura rasam. It is sweet in taste. Vipaka is post digestion. Okay. Jatre Agnina Yoga Jedudeti Rasantaram. After it gets digested, what happens to the taste? So ghee, which is sweet to taste, after digestion also remains sweet. Okay, it is Virium. That means what is its potency? It is basically Shita, and it cools the system down. Okay, Gunam. So what are the properties of it? It is Laghu and Snigdha. It is light, that means it's easy to digest. And it is Snigdha, that means it has got that oily property. When you say Laghu, it means it actually is easy to digest and keeps your body also light if consumed in moderate quantities. The sense, if you take ghee, you will not put on weight. But butter is opposite. Butter or navanita is guru. It takes some time for it to digest. Moreover, it will also it will promote weight. Okay, and karma, what as far as its tridoshik karma goes, it is vata pitta hara. It pacifies vata and pitta. Okay, and now what are the uses? It's categorized in different things, but most important thing is buddhi smriti medha agni. It increases buddhi, that means your intellect. It is very good for increasing your intellect. Smriti is recollection, that means you are able to recollect something from the past, is basically smriti. Medha is your memory. Okay, that means you are able to retain certain things. So somebody who takes ghee on a regular basis will have all these qualities in them. Okay, Agni is Agni. That means if you take ghee in moderation in good quantities, it will basically help promote all the Agnis, all the 13 Agnis. The main Jatra Agni, which is there, the digestive Agni, in the tummy, plus the 5 Bhuta Agni and the 7 Dhatu Agnis. Okay, so it increases the Agni. And then Bala, it is strength promoting. So when you look, it is Vata Pitta Hara. It reduces Vata and Pitta. That means it increases Kapha and your strength. Okay, Ayu. the sense it promotes life. Chakshu, it is good for the eyes. So most of the medicines which are good for the eyes, okay, anupana, normally we give as ghee. Okay, that means where if you have to promote, yeah, the quality of your sight or whatever, your chakshu, the anupana or what you mix with is generally ghee. Okay, then who all can have it? Okay, bala, that means children can have it. Vruddha, elderly people also can have it. In the sense, kids and children, kids and elderly people equally, they can have it. Then prajakanta, so people who want to conceive. Okay, ghee is supposed to be the best thing. That means for somebody who is preparing for conception, ghee is the best friend. Prajakanta. Sukumara, for people who are lean. Okay, you can have ghee. Swara, somebody who wants good voice. So singers. Okay, especially singers, if you take ghee, you will get that good voice and that smooth voice. Then Shastra Agni Kshina. Oh, sorry, I've not given the meaning of that. Shastra Agni Kshina is somebody who has gone through, surgical. Shastra is surgical procedure, or Agni Karma is, you have got that cauterization, you have got a wart or something, and you burn it, or wherever you Agni has come into contact. Ghee is actually a very good solution. Unmada, for most mental issues, ghee is a very good solution. Jwara, for fever, okay, ghee is good, but not in the first condition. After the fever goes down, what happens is dhatu kshaya happens. All the tissues are emaciated, so that is when ghee is basically indicated. Okay, then Vaya Sthapana. Vaya means age, Sthapana is basically to maintain. So maintenance of youth. That means the rate at which you age can be slowed down. Vrana Shodhana. Vrana is wound. Okay, ghee is supposed to be one of the best things for applying on any wound. Now we have got medicated preparations like Jyate, Ghirda and all those things which work wonders, especially wounds which do not heal. Okay, so we have got very good experience for bed sores. Elderly people, when they lie down and you get that bed sores, Jyate Ghirda works wonders. Okay, so if you have your questions, you can start asking your questions. Okay, so ghee, if you look at Sneha, okay, there are 4 kinds. One is oil, okay, Gridam, Tailam, Vasa, Majja. Ghee, oil, animal fat, and marrow. Okay, of all these 4, ghee is supposed to be superior. Okay, that is basically the first choice of what do you call Sneha. Okay, so you can start asking your questions. Yeah, Jishnu Pradhan, namaste. I am lean, but one second. I have lean body and have a dry skin. I'm applying oil every day before shower after advice for almost 1 year now. Okay, continued. I have low digestion and I'm consuming ghee in moderation too, and coconut oil is a stable cooking oil. Do you have any advice on how to keep the moisture? See, if you are lean or thin, by and large, you might be more of a Vata Prakriti, and the properties of Vata is Ruksha. Ruksha means drying. So you have got a natural tendency, your Prakriti wise, you have got dry skin. Not only dry skin, even the gut might be slightly on the drier side. So what you're doing right now is perfectly fine, applying oil on a regular basis. Okay, and then also having ghee as food. And also you can also take ghee as such, might be 1 tablespoon at bedtime. That will help your Agni stay balanced and also help your gut getting a little bit lubricated and your motions will not get constipated. So I don't think you have to do too much. Okay, because whatever you apply on the skin, any moisturizer applied locally has only a temporary effect. So I would say that you have to have Snigdha in good quantity Okay, and if you don't do exercise, what happens? That becomes excess. So you have to consume ghee or oil or whatever it is in moderate quantity, and then start doing exercises. So when you do exercises, you will start seeing sweat on your skin. Along with that sweat, you will see oil also coming out. That will actually help your skin and your body get softer. Okay, so have ghee in moderation and do exercises regularly. Shashikar, my dinner sometimes 9 p.m. If I want to go to bed by 9:30 or 10, can I consume milk before bed? But I feel tummy is full. Can I take milk immediately after my dinner and go to bed? 30-40 minutes gap can be fine. So I would say, Shashikar, if you can have your dinner slightly earlier, that would be better. But if you feel that you are not in a position to have your dinner earlier, then I would say you calculate that you should always have in your mind that you're going to drink milk. Okay, so what you do is you don't eat your dinner too much. You cut down the amount of dinner you eat and then have your milk so that you will not feel excessively full. You'll have to balance that. Okay, and I would say if you don't take milk, what is going to happen? And if you take milk, what is going to happen? That is something which you have to analyze yourself. But I would say don't stuff yourself too much before going to bed. And as you said, going to bed, a gap of 45 minutes, in my opinion, is more than enough. Okay, so you try to see if by drinking, if you feel too much full, either cut down the amount of milk or cut down the amount of food you're eating. Shashikar. Okay. Anubhav. So I have psoriasis from the past 5 years, and I'm on some Sajjana Kriya. Can I take ghee on regular basis on my foods for my psoriasis? Anubhav, yes, for psoriasis, you said that you have undergone Virechana right now, and you're on a post Virechana process of some Sajjana Kriya. Yes, your doctor also would have told you, that you basically start with very, manda peya vilepi kritam akritam va. That's how the shloka goes. Okay, that means start with something very light and slowly bring it to heavy foods. And having a little bit of ghee along with that is actually very good for you, because after any virechana or any panchakarma, what happens is your agni also goes down and your vata goes up. Okay, so to get that agni back, you can have little bit of ghee. Okay, and to get that vata down, that ghee will also help you. You can have, but it's always good for you to get back to the doctor who helped you go through virechana. Shashikar, people consume soaked nuts, almonds, etc. Is it good to consume one after the other with 30 minutes gap or all at once? See, I'm not a huge fan of dry fruits per se. Almond is actually good because it will pacify vata. Okay, so when something pacifies vata, then you should understand that it increases kapha. So when you are getting up in the morning and having almonds, and getting up in the mornings are usually kapha predominant time. Okay, and if you eat almonds soaking almond is basically water getting into almond. That increases the what you call in Panchamahabhuta, the Jala Tattva of the almond. It increases kapha even more. Okay, so I would not advise anybody. I don't advise anybody to have soaked almonds on empty stomach in the morning, because that is too heavy for them to digest. Okay, you can have it. I would say you can have it along with your breakfast, and don't mix nuts. Okay, if you're having almonds one day, have next day you have some other nuts, next day you have some other nuts. Don't mix all the nuts. Okay. Should milk and salt combination be totally avoided? In such a case, then what is the best time to consume, especially in the case of sadhya and prasadams from temple? Jishnu, mixing milk and salt is something which is considered to be viruddha, and it should be avoided. Okay, but I don't know where this question comes. In the case of sadhya and prasadam, I don't see milk being mixed with salt anywhere. Okay, as far as my knowledge goes. So if in sadhyas, sadhyas are basically feasts, and feasts don't happen every day. Okay, so you having sweetened kheer and paisam and sweets and all those things whenever festivals happen is fine, but don't make it a habit on a regular basis. But I don't understand where the salt and the milk comes here. Okay, because in sadhyas normally we don't do any of those things, Jishnu Prasad. Okay. Janani, how to know the appropriate quantity of different vikriti, how to know the appropriate quantity for different vikriti and meals. You mean the appropriate quantity of ghee? I think that's what I should understand. Okay. So, if you are more of kapha prakriti, then I will not advise you to take too much of ghee, because ghee is something which pacifies vata and pitta and increases kapha. So, if you are somebody who is generally kapha prakriti, you might not need that much of ghee. Plus, if you're suffering from kapha diseases, okay, then also we would advise you not to have too much of ghee. So wherever you have got too much of pitta, first choice. Wherever you have got too much of pitta, ghee is the first choice. And vata also, because it pacifies pitta more than vata. So pitta and vata conditions is where you should consume ghee. And quantity, if you increase quantity, it might actually lead to ajirna or indigestion. So you have to slowly work out. So normally when I consult patients, I tell them to take 1 tablespoon of ghee at bedtime. But I advise them, start with 1 teaspoon and see how you are able to handle it, and slowly increase it to 1 tablespoon. Because if you get indigestion, it will actually lead to a lot of problems. So I would say taking care of the agni is our priority, and ghee is one of the best things that can do that. Where are we right now? Okay. It is advisable for Vata Prakriti people to have milk before bed. Yes, Jishnu Prasad. See, milk before bed is something. Milk is also Vata Pitta Hara, and it increases Kapha. And sleep is Kapha. Okay, that means, see, if you look at the properties of Vata, Vata is Chala, or the property of Vata is movement. Property of Kapha is Sthira. Sleep is somewhere where you are Sthira and you don't move, and that is something which milk promotes. Okay, it pacifies vata and pitta and increases kapha. So any prakriti person can actually drink a little bit of milk depending upon your prakriti. If you are kapha prakriti, probably you don't even have to have milk, you'll sleep automatically. Okay, for a vata and pitta person, if you take milk at bedtime, it will help you sleep better. But okay, not but, I'll add something else to it. If you are somebody who's got sleeplessness, milk will help you, but not cow's milk. In that condition, you are supposed to have buffalo's milk. But milk actually will help you sleep better. Shashika, how many grams of ghee to be consumed daily? See, I would say not more than, generally for normal people, 1 to 2 tablespoons of ghee would be fine, not at the same time. So you can have, so when you're having your meals, you can avoid taking it, especially during the dinner if you want to, but breakfast and lunch, you can definitely have, might be 1 teaspoon for breakfast and 1 tablespoon for lunch. And even at bedtime, sometimes, if your body is extremely dry, you can have. So I would say 2 tablespoons of ghee you can easily consume every day, provided it's cow's ghee. Okay, I would not advise buffalo's ghee on a regular basis. Janani, is getting dreams every night normal? Yes, the thing is that it is basically we call anubhutam. Whatever you have gone through, might be today, yesterday, or sometime in some other part of your life, that is what normally comes as dreams, and it can come in different, sometimes you might see only this much, but a different version of it, or altogether exaggerated version of it, but somewhere anubhutam is something which is very critical. That means you would have gone through that situation sometimes. So having dreams is quite normal. So we believe that you, when you sleep, you'll always have dreams, but when you are in deep sleep, you might not be able to recollect what you have dreamt. But having dreams, perfectly normal, as long as it doesn't disturb you. Why do some people remember dreams more than others? Why does it tell about one's Vikriti? You know, if your sleep is very deep, okay, probably you might not be able to recollect whatever you have dreamt. Okay, people who have got superficial sleep, yes, you might be able to recollect. Okay, now you're asking about Vikriti. I'm telling about Prakriti here. Akashachari swapneshu vata prakriti konara. Okay, suppose you probably see yourself flying, or being lifted upwards in air, akashachari. That means you are moving through akasha. Akashachari swapneshu. That is normally for a vata prakriti person. He'll see that. Swapneshu jyotisham drishtva pitta prakritiko nara. That means if you start seeing fire, lightning, and things, fiery things in your sleep, then you have got a higher chance of having predominantly pitta issues or prakriti. Okay, so swapneshu Jalashayam drishtva kava prakriti gona. If you start seeing water, you going on underwater, or too much of water bodies and all those things, it is more of kapha. Okay. Yes, there are a lot of references regarding this, but I would say people who sleep well, that means healthier people who sleep really well, might not be able to recollect dreams. How to know if one has got enough deep restorative sleep? Okay, nowadays I would say you have come up with a lot of gadgets which see how you sleep. I don't recommend any of those things, because we feel that we are tracking our sleep, but you should understand that it is not you tracking your sleep. Somebody else is actually tracking your sleep. Okay, it can be Apple, or it can be Windows, or somebody else tracking your sleep. If you get up in the morning and you are fresh to go, that means you have slept well. Dreams and all those things, keep it aside. Okay, that means you sleep well. You sleep at about 10 o'clock and you get up at about 6 o'clock. 8 hours you are in bed. You get up in the morning, you feel fresh and you are ready to go. That means you have slept well. Don't depend too much on the gadgets, because what happens with the gadget is you are sleeping. Suddenly, it could be some itch somewhere here. You move your hand. That means on the hand where the watch is, it moves. So it basically thinks that, your sleep has broken. But it happens subconsciously. A lot of things happen subconsciously. So I don't want you to depend too much on gadgets. Okay, if you get up in the morning and you feel fresh, you're good. Gary, how to treat tinnitus in right ear? Okay, so tinnitus. Okay, tinnitus is something where you hear a sound in the ear, and mostly, I'm telling you, according to Ayurveda in Rasakshaya, Rase Rauksham Brahma Shosho Glani Shabda Sahishnuta. Okay, it is about the ears also, where you are not able to hear, withstand a lot of noise. You have got reeling sensations, and mostly when you have got resaksha, that means your nutrition has gone down. You have got a chance of getting sounds from the ears. Okay, because ear is vata sthana, and your vata has actually gone up. That means when your vata has really gone up, that means your kapha has gone down. That means your nutritional part of your body has gone down. I would say karnapurna. Before you pour anything inside your ear, I would want you to go get checked whether your eardrum is intact or not. Karnapurna is something which helps really well. Nasya helps, and even Shiropichu actually does wonders for tinnitus. Okay, internal medicines and all there, Maharashtra Kashayam, a lot of things which will actually promote kapha and control vata is our line of treatment, Gary. Okay, so which oil I use in making my regular food, which good for psoriasis? Mustard oil, rice bran oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil. So I would say, mustard oil is actually not very good for skin diseases, and even gingerly oil might not be very good. Gingerly is sesame oil. I would say ghee would be the best choice for you. And if you are Anubhav Shukla, I think you are from the north part of India. So I would say ghee would be the best medium for you to cook oil. If you're from south, I would have told, especially from my side, I would have said coconut oil also is okay. But since you are not used to coconut oil, I would say stick to ghee. Anusha, is it good to have aloe vera juice in the morning with empty stomach daily? If yes, how much quantity should be advisable? Anusha, first of all, I don't know why you should be taking aloe vera juice in the morning. Okay, aloe vera is actually a very potent medicine. Okay, it's called Kumari in Sanskrit. Okay, and it is not something which cools the system really well. Okay, so I would say, you might see a lot of things which say do that, do this, lime juice, lime water with honey and all those things. I would say drink a glass, probably drink a glass of warm water in the morning. Okay, and go through your day. I don't want you to go through, if you've got some issues and if the doctor has advised you to take aloe vera juice, then it will be fine. You can probably get back to him. But in my opinion, I don't think you should be taking it if you are healthy. Doctor, I got Ashtachurnam of Siddha traditional company, but taste is totally different from Churnam from Ayurveda Shala. Is it not same? Phalguni, I am not very sure about that, because Ashtachurna, the what do you call? According to Ayurvedic test, the 8 ingredients which I think we spoke last time. Okay, all the three trikatu. That means pepper, long pepper, and dry ginger, sont. Then jeera, black jeera. Okay, then ajamoda. Okay, and then salt and hing. These are the 8 things which is there in Ashtachurna. Okay, and if these things are there, and normally if these are the 8 things which is there in Ashtachurna from Siddha company, then the taste should be the same. But if it tastes differently, I don't want to comment too much on that, Falguni. Okay. I was referring to consuming payasam after having sadhya predominantly salty. Also, pappadam and payasam is a combination towards the end. Is it viruddha? Pappadam and payasam, in my opinion, is not something which is compatible. Let me put it this way. Jishnu Prasad, viruddha is not something, just because you have pappadam and payasam one day, you will not fall sick. Viruddha is not something by a single event. Viruddha is something if you do habitually. Okay, that is something which should be very clear. Okay, just because you mix salt and milk one day, it is not going to be viruddha. Just because you heat honey one day, if you keep on doing that activity over a period of time consistently, regularly, then only it becomes viruddha. So feasts, okay, sadhyas are something which used to happen very rarely in those days. Now it's happening very frequently, and in my opinion, sadhya is not a very healthy eating. Okay, it is a feast. Feast is all about junk, eating, all wrong combination, all those things. So don't consider sadhya to be a very, very, very healthy eating. Okay. Doctor, unable to understand if fascia and tissue injury is fully healed or not showing in scan. Trying to give complete rest, but sadly not possible because of commitment. Falguni, yeah, but your body does not know that you have got other commitments, and body will definitely heal when you give it time and space. Okay, so you have to give rest. If if you have got injury, and if that injury is healed or in the process of healing, it might look healed, but it might not be completely healed. So I would say that you have to give it time. MRI might sometimes not be able to show that, but when you walk and when you use that area, when you have got a little bit of discomfort, that means you have to give it more rest. Okay, your body is not bothered whether you are you are extremely busy, whether you are the president of the United States of America or the prime minister of India. Body, you give it rest, time and space, it will definitely heal. Okay, please help us understand what causes injury again and again, how to tackle. Yeah, same thing I was just telling, injury again and again happens normally when that area is not completely healed and you reuse that area. The sense, if you have got an ankle injury and without giving proper rest, you again exert that place, you will again get injured there. And that injury will be worse than the first injury. Third injury will be worse than the second injury. So if you injure that area again and again, I think you should have the patience, take a break, have a patience to completely heal it, give it enough exercise, strengthen that area before you exert that. Okay. Cold hip bath is beneficial for digestion. Is there any side effects? I am not very sure about cold hip bath being beneficial for digestion. As far as Ayurveda goes, I don't think so. Okay, Ayurveda says, snanam, shower, snanam, deepanam ayusham, shrim urja balapratam. Snanam is basic, snanam, deepanam. So if you take a shower, a cold, it's not a quick shower. If you stay in water, or if you really cool your body really well while taking a bath, yes, it is basically, it will increase your appetite. But if that is what you meant. But if digestion, or if you go and take, if you have your food and then you cool your probably hip and all those things, according to Ayurveda, it will slow your digestion and there's high chance of you getting indigestion. Okay. Cold water shower or any shower before your food will help you feel. And you would have noticed, right, if you are in a swimming pool and you stay in the swimming for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and your body cools really well, you come out of the swimming pool, be so hungry, right? That is the advantage or properties of shower. Are there any food combination with which ghee shouldn't be consumed? Yes, there is one I think there is one. See, there are a lot of places where ghee is contraindicated, especially as I said, when you have got ajirana and when you got too much of kapha, ghee has to be completely avoided. But when you look at viruddha, if you mix ghee and honey in same quantities, it is supposed to be viruddha, because one has got a different kind of property and one has got a different kind of property. One reduces kapha directly and one increases kapha. One is ushna and one is shita. So both are different property, and if you mix them in equal quantities, it becomes viruddha, Janani. Yeah, Gary, been told potatoes, tomatoes, eggplants, and bell peppers should be avoided in an Ayurvedic regime. True. Gary, we don't have a standard thing where that Ayurvedic regime you have to avoid all these things. By and large, eggplant or brinjal is not considered to be a very good vegetable. Okay, so there are other things like, depending upon the doshas and what condition the person is, certain things are avoided. Okay, if you look at the textbooks of Ayurveda, potatoes and tomatoes are normally not seen in the textbooks, but brinjal, yes, they have told. Bell pepper is also not seen. Bell pepper is called capsicum in India. Okay, even though it is not very spicy, after it goes inside, it generates a lot of heat. So if you have got a predominantly pitta issue, then you can avoid bell pepper. But otherwise, I don't think it is too much of a problem. If you boil water with bell pepper and you drink, it will help you manage indigestion. But if you've got too much of pitta, then certain things have to be avoided. But normally, you can't say hard and fast that these things have to be avoided. Soundarya. When used for Nasya, what is the effect of ghee versus Dhanvantaram Thailam? Dhanvantaram Thailam, okay. Normally Dhanvantaram Thailam is not poured inside the nose because the Dhanvantaram Thailam which you get in the market is made of the Kharapaka. That means you've got Murdu Madhya Khara. Okay, that means the extreme, it has reached the extreme Paka. That means it has been cooked so much that strong cooking, I don't know how to put it, the last stage of cooking, that means it becomes heavier and heavier. So Dhanvantaram Thailam, which comes with Kharapaka, is used for external application. But in the first stage, in Mrudu Paka, if you take the Dhanvantaram Thailam, yes, we see Dhanvantaram Thailam 7, Dhanvantaram Thailam, Avarti. That can be actually used inside the nose. And very rarely, ghee as such, yes, we do use. So ghee, what happens is you should be very careful when you use ghee as such in the nose. Okay, because ghee is thick. You have to do really good steam inhalation so the heat is there and the ghee also has to be melted. But when the ghee is melted, it's very hot. So it's a very tricky thing when you pour only ghee inside the nose for Nasya. Okay, so I would always say preferably anything with oil base is good. Okay, for most conditions. See, there are conditions like bleeding from the nose and other issues, Yeah, but where we use ghee. But if you're not experienced, I would say don't use ghee because if it is not melted, it'll get stuck, and it's melted sometimes it becomes very hot. So don't try using a ghee if you're not used to it. Dhanvantaram Thailam, what you get in the market, mostly are for external application. Okay, I think generally you can use Anu Thailam. You can start using Anu Thailam. Or normal gingerly oil or sesame oil itself is okay. Okay. Is there a Thailam for Nasya that's suitable for all conditions? For most conditions, I was just telling you, Anu Thailam would be the best choice. Shat Bindu Thailam is also there. So these two Thailams can be used as Nasya oil. Okay. Or else normal sesame oil, til ka tel, also can be used for Nasya. Okay. So I think we have come to the end of all the questions today. Any other questions, or shall we come to an end and meet next week? Okay then. Okay, so see you next week with another topic. Till then, good night. Okay. Soundarya. Okay, I'll answer this question. Okay. How to not become an Ayurvedic fanatic? That is a very good question. Okay. See, anywhere you become a fanatic, it becomes very tough. You can't be a language fanatic. Okay. Some people, if I would say, that Malayalam is the best language or Tamil is the best language, there's no other language like Tamil or Kannada or even Marathi. You have got a lot of people who are language fanatics. You have got a lot of people who are religious fanatics, that their religion is only the best, other religions are all bad. The moment you become a fanatic, it becomes a huge problem. Okay. There have been a lot of guidelines which have been given as far as Ayurveda goes, and Ayurveda always says, sarva dharmeshu madhyamam, anuniyat pratipadam sarva dharmeshu madhyamam, that take the middle path always. Don't completely ignore what the principles have been told, and don't hold on to it so much that everything what you see, becomes a problem. Like I will just give you one small instance or a story, where, there was a cow which was chewing into just a small banana tree which was just coming up, So a Vaidya, a doctor, he took a stick and he wanted to hit the cow so that he could make the cow move away from there. But when he was about to hit the cow, wherever he looked, he could see vital points on the cow. So he could not hit the cow. So he said, if I hit here, this is going to happen to the cow. If I hit there, that is going to happen to the cow. This is going to happen to the cow. So he, so what happened? Then he told his servant, I see that you moved the cow, So the servant, he took a stick, and put, he hit the cow and moved the cow away. So this guy was told, how did he hit the cow exactly between two marmas? So basically what I'm trying to tell you is, if you look into something too much or you become a fanatic, it can be anything, not only Ayurveda. Okay. You will always end up in problem, and people around you also will end up in problems. Okay. So I would say, take whatever actually suits you, and once in a while going here and there, the body knows how to manage that. Okay. If you keep on doing wrong combinations or things on a regular basis consistently, then only you will fall sick, because the body is a part of nature and its natural tendency is to stay healthy. Trust it. Okay. Don't become a fanatic. Okay, Soundarya. Good night.